Hey guys, Dr. Zleek here. Today we're looking at Halo 3 Terminals and Skulls for HD Game Guides HDGG. And we're going to start off just by going through all the missions in order with all the collectibles in order. We'll give you a little description on what the collectibles are, what kind of stuff you expect to get from them, and make sure you know where they're at. Alright, so we're going to start off with the first skull, which is the Blind Skull, which eliminates your HUD items such as your radar and your shields and all that good stuff. It's a silver skull, so no achievement. But once you fight the Covenant for the first time on this mission, just go ahead and hug the right side. You'll see this little cliff overhanging the area. Boom, silver skull. Later in the mission, we're going to cross this bridge. You'll want to go up to the right side again, and you'll see, you'll see this little area where you can hop up here and go on this catwalk sort of thing. Just go ahead and walk down. You can do this at any point in the mission once you reach this area. Just go all the way to the very end, or wraps around a couple of corners, and we'll see this. This is your first skull achievement. Basically, gold skulls get achievements. They're also usually more game affecting. Silver skulls are more for just fun and no achievements. Alright, so next we're looking at the Blackeye Skull. This is going to be the skull where if you lose shields, you're going to have to get a melee hit to get them back. Go ahead, start up Crow's Nest on Noise, Normal, and Higher. All of these skulls are on normal difficulty or higher. Go ahead and walk up these stairs, pull a 180, jump on top of this gun rack sort of thing. You're also going to get up on this red pipe once you see it up here to my left, and then we'll get up on this actual big pipe, which is where the skull will be. Also, I forgot to mention that last skull was the Iron Skull. That skull will make you restart a level if you die on solo, or restart a checkpoint if you die in co-op. Alright, so there's another skull. Later on in this mission, we're going to be seeing the Grunt Birthday Party Skull. This skull allows us to get our headshots on grunts celebrated by little children and confetti. A lot more fun than it sounds, definitely not creepy at all. So go ahead and talk to Cortana, see how she's doing. There's your checkpoint in case you miss this jump or die from these buggers or whatever. Usually, as you can see, you can just avoid them by walking along this left side of the hallway. Once we get to the end, you're going to want to crouch and slowly walk over the edge. I do it really slow. You don't go as slow as me, obviously, but go ahead and just slowly walk up the edge. You'll see a little green arrow, which is pointing you in the right direction. Once you hop down there, you're going to head that way. You'll see the skull. This is also a silver skull. There will be no achievement associated with it. As you may notice, there are 4 silver skulls, and none of them have achievements. Alright, so there we go. By the way, the button for picking up skulls is the same as reloading or picking up a weapon. Alright, so this is just after getting a checkpoint, going through a tunnel with a bunch of buggers. You'll see a giant Covenant ship fly overhead. This is a pretty recognizable part of the mission. Go ahead, jump down to the left underneath that giant sewage pipe or whatever it may be. No falling damage in this game, so go ahead and head down. You're going to want to jump up and over and around this support beam here. Like I said, you got the checkpoint. You can just restart that if you mess up. Keep walking down this way. I look back to kind of show you where you're at. Once you get the skull, you can go ahead and head back to the rest of the mission. Let's go ahead and hop across this gap, pick up the Tough Flex Skull. Tough Flex Skull makes enemies much more aggressive and throw better grenades. Alright, so 10G. Next we're looking at the level Storm. This is the Catch Skull. This skull will make enemies throw and have more grenades, so it's kind of okay because if you kill them you get more grenades most of the time. So go ahead and head towards that little building there. You're going to want to kill that Wraith. I just fast forward a little bit because it took about 3 minutes to kill that Wraith for some reason. Go ahead and either jump off a co-op buddy, a Warthog, or a grenade jump like I did. Pick up the skull. Do not kill that second Wraith that is shooting at you until you pick it up, otherwise the skull will disappear. Alright, next is the very beginning level of Floodgate. Next mission, basically start up the mission and head down to where you're about to see me go. You'll see me get a checkpoint. Again, use that to revert to last save if you miss the skull opportunity. This is the Fog Skull. It's kind of like the Blind Skull to a lesser degree because it only gets rid of your motion sensor. So you'll see a flood form up here, walk over to you, and you'll shoot it. You want to wait till he's right at the edge, that way he'll kind of toss the skull at you. I was fortunate to get on my first try. Again, just go ahead and keep retrying that. And there's your 10 gamer score. Next, we're going to start looking at the terminals. So this is Ark. There are 3 terminals on this mission. After facing off the hunters in the dropship, go ahead, head up through the cave, and go left in this hallway instead of straight forward. Go access a terminal. So to get these terminals to count, you'll need to go through until it says fragment ends. So you'll basically look at the terminal. You'll go through a first set of a couple screens with a few A button pushes. Wait for the last one for a few seconds, about 30 seconds or so between screens. And we'll go to a second sector of the terminal. Once we get here, hit the A button a few times again. You'll see fragment ends. Go ahead and back out up to the mission. And with all these skulls and terminals, as long as one person gets it, if you're playing co-op, they count, although it is much easier just to do it on single player, because you don't have to worry about online issues or whatever. Alright, so this is the next skull in this mission called Famine, and you're going to want to get up on this gold bridge sort of thing. I'm kind of showing you where it's at with my tank here. There's about 3 different parts of the mission. You can access this area, and so just go ahead and hop up here through some rocks. You don't need to grenade jump or anything. This might be easier in co-op just because you can die and get more grenades when you respawn, or you can just jump off someone's head. Otherwise, you're going to grenade jump. This is the Famine Skull. This is a gold skull. Basically, when you kill enemies, they'll drop weapons with less ammo, and I also believe weapons that spawn on the map normally also have less ammo than normal. So there you go, 10 gamer score. Alright, next we're going to look at the next terminal in this Ark mission. So we're going to see our friend Guilty Spark here. Open up this door, we're going to go activate the light bridge for our little tanks down there to cross, which is good because we'll need those later. So go ahead and turn around. Once you activate that, you'll see the terminal in broad daylight. Go ahead and open that up to access it. Go again, same thing, go through some dialogue, or I should say text, actually. Go through some text, hit the A button a few times, you'll wait for a little screen to go red and it will flash through. Obviously I'm fast forwarding through this for you guys because this video would be about half an hour long if I didn't. This video is long enough already as it is. So we'll go to the fragment end screen again, go ahead and back out, continue the mission. Also note with these terminals you will need to start from the beginning of the mission for them to count. Alright, so this next part is actually in preparation for Skull. Once you kill the scarab, or once you're in this area, when the scarab spawns, you're going to want to enter this little building to our side here and pick up a grav lift. There are several in this building, so go ahead and pick it up. I just swap it for my bubble shield, as you'll see here, and we'll use that for later. Alright, so now we're in the building, the main building after that last area. You'll go through a room of enemies, kill them, and we're going to go through this little ramp here, and we'll kill these enemies in the room, and you'll see a doorway like a Harry Potter closet down here. I come back to about 30 seconds later and figure to just cut that out for you guys. And we'll go into this terminal, and we'll go through the screens again. We got Guilty Spark with us. So again, it's just you want to go through the first few screens of text, wait till we go to the red screen, flash through to a different sector, and then get the fragment ends message. So normally these are really fun to read and kind of look at if you're a fan of the Halo expanded universe, I guess, if you consider the games to be the regular universe. But here we go, fragment ends. So we go ahead and go for that skull we talked about earlier. This is the Cowbell Skull, which increases explosions, also a silver skull. You'll see me here reset checkpoint. You get a checkpoint right as you enter the room, so go ahead and throw your grav lift down somewhere on this ramp. You're going to want to jump into the very top little cubby hole and get the skull. It's the very top one, and like I said, just keep restarting checkpoint until you are able to nab it. Alright, now we're on the next level, the Covenant, and we're going to want to go through the first terminal. This is in the first tower. You want to skip this elevator, just jump across right to the other side after clearing out the enemies. We get some ammo there, and another terminal. So there's 3 on this level, just like the last level. Basically, there's 3 terminals on 2 different levels, and then there's 1 terminal on the last level. Alright, I'm going to get the red screen here again. Scroll through until we get to the second set of screens and the fragment ends message. Alright, there we go, and we'll continue to back out and clear this tower. And now we're going to go to the next terminal and the next skull. We'll do the terminal first. So once you clear the first tower, head back to the beach area, get in your Hornet. You're going to want to fly to the second tower. Your AI friends will say, you know, you don't need to go through that tower, it's already cleared. Let's go ahead and ignore them because they don't know about the sweet, sweet collectibles we got hiding there. So go ahead and just land anywhere on this tower. I prefer to land somewhere about the middle, as you'll see me do here. It just makes it a little bit easier. And so instead of going in the tower, like we are doing with this one, or the previous one I should say, we're going to go up to the door, like where we would go to the tower, and then actually just turn to your left here and we'll see the terminal. So this terminal is a bit different than the rest of them because you actually don't get a fragment ends message, but you will see the final screen. I'll show it to you here. You still have to get through the red screen, and we'll find a second sector. And then I'll show you the last screen. I actually stared at it for about a minute and a half because I was waiting for the fragment ends. But as you can see, this is the last screen. You can hit A all you want. You can kind of tell by that red arrow in the bottom left there it's the last message. Let's go ahead and back out to the mission as you'll see me do here in just a second. Alright, so go head towards your Hornet that you parked And you're actually going to want to hold to the right to get the Thunderstorm Skull. Just go up this little ramp area here. And the Thunderstorm Skull will make enemies a rank higher, so instead of being a Grunt Minor, they might be a Grunt Major. Instead of just being like a low-level Brute, it might be Armored Brute, etc. So there's 10 gamer score for you. This is later in the mission. This is the third tower that you have to get into. This is very similar to the first tower and first terminal. And just go across the elevator and access the terminal. This one should return to the formula with the Fragment Ends screen. So again, the first through text options here. Wait for the screen to go red. We'll get to the second sector and then access the second area of the terminal, and then we'll get the Fragment Ends message. There we go. / Fragment Ends. Go ahead and back out and go through the rest of the mission. Alright, so next we're going to look at the I Would Have Been Your Daddy's Skull, the IWHBYD. The 8 acronyms. So this one's usually the most complicated or confusing for people just because it involves a coded sequence, and what that is fancy for is just hopping through a couple of these holographic rings here. We're going to go in order of 4, 6, 5, 4, 5, 3, 4. If I'm reading this correctly here, hopefully. It's on the screen, I put it there for you. And ring 1 is the ring next to the entrance, which is where we started in the video and also where you enter the level. And 7 is the light bridge, which is the end of the level, also where you happen to meet the Prophet, as well as where the skull will be spawning. So you can jump through these rings in this order. Just try not to touch the rings as long as you clear the jump. You can jump in either direction, so back or forward, and just make sure to clear the jump. Like I said, you'll see me jump through the rings without really touching them. You can jump in either direction, like I said a second ago, I believe, and that's fine. Once you hop through them all, you should see them light up in a flashing sequence. If at any time you think you may have messed up, just go ahead and restart. See me here, just walking through, and this should be the last ring, I believe. Alright, and now you see them flashing. This means you did that correctly. If they're not flashing, you can try and do the last ring again, maybe, or just go ahead and restart. You have to do this, I should mention, after you kill a certain type of person and you're heading back towards the entrance of the map. For some reason, if you haven't played this game already, I'm not going to try and spoil that for you, but you should see the skull right here. This is also a silver skull that unlocks extra dialogue that's not normally featured in gameplay. Alright, so we're on the next level here. This is me showing you where it is in Cortana. You'll jump down through a hole, see the dead elite, there's a room full of enemies, go ahead and kill them. That's the dead elite again, just showing you as a reference point. So this is just showing you the jump in third person because this is a bit tough to do. I got lucky again on my first try at this, so we're going to hop up on this purple little podium sort of thing, purple podium, PPP, and jump up on these little shelf looking items here, and then jump to the left. So this is the hardest jump. Try to avoid that purple pointy edge. A couple more P's there. Just head to the very right of that shelf. Try to crouch jump to avoid banging your shins and then cross this bridge. This is the tilt skull. It makes enemies have pretty high resistance on their armored shields. So just stick to plasma weapons if you use that skull. And next we're going to be playing the last level of the game, also called Halo. And this is the Mythic Skull. This skull will be at the very beginning. As you see, that's the very beginning of the mission here. As you see that countdown on the right side, or count up I suppose it's called. And you're just going to want to go through this cave and stick to the right side. This is the Mythic Skull. It gives enemies twice the amount of hit points they normally get. Again, just hug the right side of this cave area. You'll see a tiny indent with a little hallway. Just go down that. You will see the skull. There's the last skull in the game. As always, once you pick up these skulls, you have them unlocked permanently. And you can access them from the main menu, or the campaign menu I should say, by hitting the X button. Alright, so now we're going to look at the last terminal. This is the 7th terminal of the game and the only one in this mission. And this should unlock the last achievement for you, collectibles wise. 40 gamer score, so that's pretty good. So we want to head to the right here. Again, this is the same part. I didn't cut the video because it's literally that close to each other. You should hear Cortana say something like this.
Where are you going?
That means you're going the right direction. Don't turn left at the wall, turn right, go to the little hallway, then turn left once you're into it, and you should see Cortana point out the last terminal. Alright, so go ahead and access the terminal. Again, wait for the red screen, and we should get to the second section of text screens, and that should be where the achievement unlocks. Guys, I want to thank you for watching this. Recommend any achievements you want or request videos. I want to make them if you guys want to see them. and hopefully we'll be enjoying the Master Chief Collection in November. I know I'm excited. I've had it pre-ordered since day one. It's going to be a great game, and hopefully we can get another couple of achievements in that game as well. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time. Enjoy.